Hello.
Hello everyone, good morning to all of you present here in this virtual class. And on the behalf of our respected teacher, Mr. S. Pandey sir, now I'm a Parnasi and it's been $1 billion of opportunity for me to say something about on the topic of relevance of Buddhism in today's life and today's world. Actually, Buddhism is one of the four major religions in the world today, and it's been an impressive and anti-metaphysical religion. Actually, it is a way of life that is led mainly by the spiritual practices and honest principles that is led and attributed to the Buddha. When practiced, these principles, this lead to the inner peace, calmness to our mind, and have a greater sense of connectedness with the universe. For formed over 2000 years ago, it's been still very relevant today. Whether we want to experience more happiness, live with more courage and prosperous life, or we want to have a grateful life in this world, the Buddhism encourages all the positive changes in our life for all facets of our introduction. So now I'm going to discuss about some of the principles of the Buddhism that according to the Buddhism, the desire to have more, whether it is based on the terms of matter or it is based on the terms of emotional terms, it causes actually discontentment. Because if we are wanting more and more that what we already have, then it's actually a bad thing. And actually desire is not especially a bad thing when it especially comes to motivate us to do better. But if we are not fulfilled, then it will be bad for us. So Buddha believed that the only way to end the suffering is to end the desire. So his next principle was that as a human being, we should maximize our potential, because as a human being have the greater ability to do or to live in harmony with ourselves, with others, with the world and all of its inhabitants. And the Buddha also compromise and they also impress that type of life in which we maximize our potential through our body, through our mind, and of course through our soul. So the his next thought and principle was that suffering can be good. So many of you are thinking that how could be suffering be good for us? So well, here we go that suffering can be good, because if we encounter the negative experiences, then it can serve as a very best lessons and powerful lessons in our life, and we should also allow them to in our life. And even if things aren't going well, the Buddha teaches us that we should always look forward for good things. And if there is going wrong thing or wrong situation with us, then in that wrong situation also we should find a good way and good situation and a good thing in that. And we should also learn much experiences, and we should also learn very things from our experiences. And due to the suffering, it makes us to be more compassionate and have a greater ability and have empathy towards the other people, because we had passed through the same situation. And his last and the fourth principle was that there's only one moment, means that the Buddha teaches the importance of living in one moment and living with a prosperous life, means that the past has been gone and the future doesn't exist. So there is only one moment, and that moment is the present, and we should always live in our present, because it doesn't offer so many opportunity in our life, but we also live our life with a very enjoy enjoyment. So we should always believe in our present. So at the conclusion of my speech, I want to say that in this scientifically and technologically developed village and developed global village, there are many amenities through which the people can live a greater and pleasure life, but people are not satisfied, and they feel a type of insecurity. So what the Buddha taught was not only for the peoples of the 6th century, it should be followed by the wise of the 21st century as well, and it should be followed by us as well and before the millennia to come. Thanks for listen my speech and have a nice day.
Start.
Good morning, everyone. This is Varsha Kumar of Standard 9th D, and I'm here to express my views on ideology of Buddha. Not only the ideology of Buddha, I'll cover more things about Buddha. As you know, the real name of Gautam Buddha was Siddhartha, and he was born in 6th century BC. He belonged to Sakyavans. The word Buddha means enlightened one. You know, he left his all family member and whole kingdom to know the cycle of rebirth in which human being is trapped. Dear friends, Buddha says a very nice line, a very nice thing, that three things cannot be hidden up along. The things are sun, moon, and truth. So he left his all family member to find the truth or to solve the reasoning of birth and death. He was also a great philosopher and a teacher. Dear friends, I like to cover rest of my things about Buddha by a poem which will let you know about the thinking of Gautam Buddha because this poem is written by Gautam Buddha. So please listen it and try to understand the lines of this poem. Do not believe in anything. Do not believe in anything simply because you have heard it. Do not believe in anything simply because it is spoken and rumored by many. Do not believe in anything simply because it is found and written in your religious book. Do not believe in tradition because it have been handed for many generations. But after observation and analysis, if you find anything that agrees with reason and benefits one and all, then accept it and live up to it. Thanks a lot for listening my at saying to my time. Thanks a lot for listening the speech and making peace and silence. Thanks a lot.
Good morning to all of you. My name is Tanya Singh from Standard 9D, and today I am here to give a speech on the topic of how is Buddhism relevant today. Buddhism is an Indian religion which is original teaching attribute to Gautam Buddha. It is originated in between 6th to 4th BCE. He was born in Lumbini and grew up in Kapilvastu near Indian-Nepal border. He mostly spent his life in Bihar, and Buddhism is one of the four major religions in the world today or modern world. What Buddha thought is not only for 6th century BC, but it is a timeless teaching. Surely it can be practiced by the wise during 21st centuries as well as is many centuries or millennia to come. Buddhism play an important role in modern world because unlike many religious traditions, Buddhism uniquely propound the concept of independence. And according to Buddhists, existence is a cycle of life, death, rebirth, and suffering that they seek to escape altogether. The wheel are divided into 5 or 6 states into which a material and mental phenomenon can be reborn. It is held by a demon. The Four Noble Truths, in which contain the essence of Buddha's teaching. These are the four principles which the Buddhas come to understand during his meditation time under the Bodhi tree, which is located in Bodh Gaya, Bihar. The truth of suffering, the truth of the origin of suffering, the truth of the cessation of suffering, the truth of the path of the cessation of suffering. And the Buddha described the eightfold path, which means to enlightenment, right understanding, right concentration, right intention, right livelihood, right effort, right action, right speech, and right mindfulness. So at last, I want to conclude that modern world have nothing to offer that but insecurity and competitiveness as well as tensions, but Buddhas give offer to very simple and very simple and very simple and efficacious method to overcome that Buddhas give offer. Thank you.
Start.
Good morning, everyone. This is Pihu here, and I'm today here to say something about the Buddha, Buddhism, and how Buddhism is relevant in the modern world, and about the ideology of the Buddhism. Before all of these things, firstly, I would like to thanks to all the teachers and their school management who have decided to celebrate the Buddha Jayanti by organizing a speech competition for all the students, which is very beneficial for all us. Firstly, I would like to tell something about the Buddhism and God Buddha. Buddhism is one of the four major religions in the world. Today, it is an empiricistic and metaphysical religion, and Buddha was also an empiricistic ruler. All his knowledge was based on experience derived from this sense. He unequally propounds the concept of independence, which accords closely with the fundamental notions of the modern science. He can think Buddhism in the terms of three categories, which are philosophy, science, and religion. Modern science has developed so many things. He have developed a highly complex understanding of the physical world, including the working of different body parts, also hearts, different approximately all the body parts. But the Buddhist science was totally different from it. He was the first person to understand many aspects of emotions. According to the Buddhism, existence on the earth is a cycle of life, death, reborn, and the suffering. He also gave four noble truths in the world. Under his meditation period under the Bodhi tree in the Bodh Gaya, he told about the four noble truths and came to understand the principles of these noble truths. These noble truths are the truth of suffering, the truth of origin of suffering, the truth of cessation of suffering, and the truth of path of cessation of suffering. In the first two noble truths, he diagnosed the problems and identify its causes. The third noble truth is the realization that there is a cure, and the fourth noble truth tells the way to achieve release from suffering. He also told about the wheel of dharma and the symbol of eightfold paths. According to him, the eight stages can be grouped into wisdom, ethereal conduct, and meditation. When we talk about the nature of the Buddha, Buddha was always against hatred. He always believes in kindness, loving, and he also preached karuna, compassion. And another most significant aspect of Buddha's preaching is bhavana or meditation. According to Buddha, there are only two things on the earth which can make a person's life happy. Those things are man's mind and the trust. When we talk about the modern world, today in this modern world, for easy living and pleasure, people are both physically and mentally not satisfied and do not have a feeling of security. When the mind is not satisfied, that the person is free from danger, the mind produces an experience of insafetyness. In the world today, there are many multinationals and multi-purpose projects which are vast for the developments of countries, but people are not satisfied with what they have and there is no complement. Without taking so much time, I would like to conclude my speech. In the conclusion, I would like to say that the modern developments have nothing to offer but insecurity and competitions, as well as tensions and boredoms associated with them. Buddhism offers a very simple and efficient method to combat that. Buddhism has a role to play in which we from the birthland of Buddha have an important part to play. It is our responsibility to share our thinking, our knowledge to as many as people we can, so that ultimately we all see that the message of Buddha can continues to reach mankind to all corner of the world. Thank you for listening me and have a nice day.
Offer a and very Buddhism offer a few samples which vary in implication matter that compact the Buddhism where the role play in our life that the form of Buddhism where birth in the important part of the play where Buddhism has the one of four major religions in the world today in the impact where the religions of the four noble truths and Buddhism is state of the all the existence of suffering, which is the real and almost universal to the desire and have to control the things which are attached to them. They have the freedom suffering in the letting that go all the desires and attain through the eightfold path and where they can teaching the relevant that still important teachings and practice to their meditation which is the four primary sources where toppings in primary sources in the leading another to the ruler where the Gautam Buddha was born. Gautam Buddha was the born on a royal family in the he was the first and they have a 563 BC in the village of Lumbini. His father name was Subhod, Sudhodna and his mother name was Maya Devi. He was included the meditations of suffering in 7 days, where there can be someday the family were behind in the search of truth and always keep the siddharth inside the place of form which can be hardness in the world. There have beginning the family.
Good morning to all of you. Good morning to all of you. Today I am Shani Sharma of Standard 9D. I am here to give a speech on the topic of how is Buddhism relevant today. Guys, we all know that Buddhism has a special role to play in the modern world because unlike many other religions or traditions, Buddhism unquickly postponed the concept of independence, which accord closely with the fundamental notion of modern science. For Buddhists, the life of Buddha and his teaching is more important sources of his wisdom and authority, informing their beliefs and the ways of life. Buddha teaches a spiritual to fold life together to faith, knowledge, sorrow, and having desire. It is believed that Buddha ago 2,500 years ago at the time when the religious tradition in India promoted faith in God and devotional worship to that God. Buddhism exercised profound influence shaping the various aspects of Indian society. The ethical code of Buddhism was also simpler, based on charity, purity, self-sacrifices, and truthfulness, and control over pace. It laid great emphasis on love, equality, and non-violence. The main symbol of Buddhism is Dharma wheel, also known as Dharma Chakra. Dharma wheel, one of the most oldest economic symbol of the Buddhism faith. Buddhism, as one of the four major religions in the world today, is an imperialistic and anti-metaphysical religion. What the Buddha taught is not only for 6th century BC, but it is a timeless Akalika teaching. Surely it can be practiced by the voice during 21st century as well, and in many more centuries or millennia to come. Thank you and have a nice day.
Good morning to all of you today. My name is Shayan and I'm Standard 9D here.
चलो स्टार्ट करना.
Good morning to all of you today. My name is Shayan and I'm Standard 9D here to say something on the topic of how Buddhism is relevant today. The Buddhism was founded by the Gautam Buddha, mainly known as Buddha, in the 6th century. The society across the globe are facing serious issues ranging from moral and cultural degradation to religious conflict, corruption, employment, etc. So the value of peace and solidarity has become more relevant with every advancement that man has made. In recent time, there has been an associated negative impact in the society. All society worldwide want to be healthy and happy. This state can be achieved when most people have a tendency to consider material possession and physical comfort as more important and realistic valuable than spiritual value. The teaching of Buddha help us understand the doctrine of karma. One must practice right values, right intention to free oneself from attachment, ignorance, and hatefulness. Right conduct or action causing no distress to someone's feeling, right livelihood, making living opportunity, right effort, living by good thought, right mindfulness to overcome every negative effect, and right to achieve a higher state of consciousness. At the conclusion of my speech, I would like to say that the Buddhism teachings include compassion, calmness, and compassion, joy among humans, and they can help maintain a sustainable balance between man and the nature. Thank you for giving your precious time to me. Thank you so much.
No poison can kill a positive thinker, and no medicine can save a negative thinker. From this, I would like to start my speech. First of all, I want to thank to ERS Pandit sir to give me this opportunity to say about the Gautam Buddha. Gautam Buddha, also known as Siddhartha or simply the Buddha, was sage on whose technique Buddhism was founded, a native or ancient Shakya republic in the Himalaya full hills. Gautam Buddha taught primarily in northern India. Buddha means awakened or more the enlightened one. Buddha.
Me Shamirania from class 9D.
Start.
Yes, sir. Good morning to everyone. This is me, Shamirania from class 9D, and today I got a golden opportunity to speak about a topic which is how Buddhism is relevant in today's world. Buddhism become one of the four major religions in this world, and it is practiced by many more people. And Buddha was credited as a founder of Buddhism. Who is Buddha? So Buddha was the founder. Buddha was the founder of the Buddhism as well. He is a philosopher, meditator, spiritual leader, and a religious teacher. He was born 566 BC in Kapilvastu, Nepal. When he was just 29-year old, he left all of his comfort of life and the royal livelihood just to seek the meaning of suffering which he sees around him. After the 6 year of arduous yogic training, he abandoned the way of self-mortification and sat under a bodhi tree where he knows all the knowledge, where he gets knowledge. Siddhartha Buddha on the full moon of May and the morning rising of morning stars, Siddhartha Gautam becomes Lord Buddha. He preached the path and the dharma to all the people he met, which he had realized on that time. The Buddhism and Buddha was relevant. The teaching of the Buddhism and Buddha was relevant to modern world because all of the people in today's world society want to become happy, healthier, and this state can't be achieved by when you have only tendency to consider a material possession and a physical comfort than the spiritual value. The causes of suffering is desire, the desire to have control things, and when you left all the desire, when you left all the desire and suffering, then this is nirvana. Letting all the desire to go is end of your suffering. The Buddha teaches the compassion and a love, which we can spread to all over the country. The Buddha also teaches try to speak a good word for everyone, not a hateful speeches. At last, I would like to tell you the quote of Buddha, which is, great things are the result of small good habits. Thank you, sir.